You know, welcome back to Game on Vegas. With the postponement of the Daytona 500, you kind of wonder logistically what kind of issues that will cause for the race here as they make their way to Las Vegas. Joining me now on Race Week is the president and general manager of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here is Chris Powell. And I kind of wonder how that is going to affect you guys with the postponement of the race until at least Monday.
Well, we'll race on time no matter what. I promise you that, Chris. But it is going to create quite a hardship for these race teams that they've got to go back to North Carolina to their shops, trade out the super speedway car from Daytona, put in the intermediate track car for Las Vegas, and then haul it across the country. And we think they should be getting in sometime on Thursday now, a day later than normal. And so it does create a bit of a hardship for the race teams. There's a lot of driving to be done.
A lot of driving. Now the drivers will get here. It's the teams that might not get here.
The transport, the cars themselves, those are the ones that they're concerned about. But they'll get here. And this has happened many times in the past with other events, other races being postponed, still having to make a transcontinental trip across the country, but they'll get it done.
All right, it's going to be a lot of fun this week. I love NASCAR week here in Las Vegas because it's so much fun now with the two races, of course, the spring race, which is a lot of fun.
Right.
Tell us anything new, what can fans expect this week?
Well, just a lot of fun, as they always do when they come to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a lot of fun. We're going to have racing 4 nights in a row. First time we've ever done this race at the Bull Ring, where the ARCA cars are going to compete, and in the late model, super late model race, even Kyle Busch is going to run on Thursday night at the Bull Ring. It's his first time racing at the Bull Ring since 2007, and he's got to be probably the winningest driver in the history of the Bull Ring. I can still remember the great races that he and his brother Kurt put on back in 1999 at the Bull Ring. It didn't matter if they were racing late models or legends or modifieds. Kyle is always competitive at the Bull Ring.
So you got the NASCAR champion Thursday racing at the Bull Ring.
That's correct.
That's pretty cool stuff.
It is really cool, and I'm sure he'll be signing some autographs for the fans. And so, in addition to Thursday night at the Bull Ring, we've got the Strat 200 truck race on Friday at late afternoon, evening, and then Boyd Gaming 300 for the Xfinity cars on Saturday, and then all the big guys are there for Sunday with the Pennzoil 400, and starting somewhere shortly afternoon, and we're expecting a big race and a big race weekend. I'll tell you, NASCAR loves Las Vegas. The sponsors love coming here, the teams love coming here to entertain their sponsors, the fans love coming here, and I think we've proven over the years that Las Vegas loves NASCAR as well, because we always have great crowds at Las Vegas Motor Speedway when NASCAR comes to town.
You know, great crowds. And one thing I was impressed with when it was first built, and it's evolved into a real cool thing, is the neon garage inside, where fans can go in there, watch the drivers, and the garage are right next to them. There's a window, kind of like a zoo in a sense. But they're right there.
Tony Stewart once told me it was like a zoo.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of like for fans who haven't been to the Speedway and are not familiar with the neon garage. It's sort of like a surgeon's class looking down on an operation. They're able to see the race teams preparing the cars. They're able to get drivers' autographs because of the access that they get. We've got special entertainment in the inside of the neon garage. So there's always a lot of fun to be had. And then you've got the Turn 4 turn up, which the younger generation really loves, where we put the Ferris wheel and swimming pools and loud music and just a lot of fun at the Speedway when NASCAR comes in.
You know, you mentioned that neon garage. You know, fans that go out there and enjoy, they get close to the crews.
Right.
I mean, you can probably get some nuts and bolts.
Right.
And they kind of hand things out for the kids. They really make it nice for the kids and that next generation.
The fans love it. And speaking of kids, they're free to get into the Speedway on Friday and Saturday for the Strat 200 on Friday, for the Boyd Gaming 300 on Saturday, and then on Sunday only $10 with a paying adult. So we're really trying to get kids to come out and experience what NASCAR has to offer. There's so much fun to be had.
You know, it's interesting too, and here it is, Las Vegas, and you have the Busch brothers. Yeah, I mean, there's that nice connection with NASCAR. There's more than just a few guys that have kind of come up through the Vegas routes.
Right. You've got Riley Herbst is competing. Noah Gragson just won the Xfinity race yesterday at Daytona. So, and of course, the Busch brothers are the cornerstone of racing here. Brendan Gaughan is going to be competing in the Daytona 500, the rain shortened or rain delayed. So we've got a lot of guys from Las Vegas that have come up through the ranks and have really made a great name for themselves in the sport of NASCAR.
You know, we used to have the Champions Week here in Las Vegas. That changed. with that second race coming up in September.
Right.
But you kind of missed that, or was it time for that to move on?
Nashville did a great job with it. It was great here. I think we had it 8, 9, 10 years, and it was outstanding here in Las Vegas. Everybody loved it. But it was probably a good time to move on. And with the second race coming here in September, you know, Michael Gaughan and the South Point 400, the South Point people who sponsor the South Point 400 just do an incredible job of marketing that event along with us at the Speedway. And so we'd rather have the second race than have any kind of banquet.
Well, that second race is so much fun. And what's it been like having 2 races now? Because really it's nonstop for you guys,
right,
as a staff out there at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
We used to say, Chris, that if we ever did make a mistake, and we're human too, and we used to have some operational flaws that we needed to correct, and it was so difficult in the old days that we had to wait 51 weeks to prove to the fans that we could get it right. Now there's a lot more of a rhythm to the year, with 2 NASCAR races, 1 in the spring, 1 in the fall, as well as 2 NHRA national events, 1 in April, 1 in October. So there's a better rhythm to the year, and we think we do a pretty good job at the Speedway, and we certainly make a lot of people happy.
I got to ask you, if you had your ruthers, do you like it the week right after Daytona 500, or do you like it when it was that break in between?
We'd rather have an additional week in between, and I think you might see that next year. Now, don't quote me on that, but we're doing everything we can to get this race moved back. Fans would rather be here in March. There's some maybe stigma about February, but we're looking for great weather this coming weekend. For those fans who haven't bought tickets yet, they can log on to our website at lvms.com, because we're looking for a perfect weather weekend, and the racing should be great.
I know what a lot of people are looking forward to is getting Kurt Busch a win out here.
Oh man,
I mean,
wouldn't that be great? He is one of the great guys too.
Yeah,
you know, you talk about a guy who's gone through a cycle in life, who's you know, had his challenges with his behavior from years ago, but he's really matured. And he's probably one of the most intellectual drivers on the circuit, and just an outstanding guy. I was fortunate enough to fly back from Nashville to Las Vegas and sit near him on a plane a couple of months ago, and just an outstanding guy. And he does a lot for the veterans. You know, he does a lot for the military, and he loves Las Vegas.
All right. Well, Chris, we appreciate you coming in, and good luck with the racing this weekend.
Thank you, Chris. Look forward to seeing you out there.
You betcha. There he is, Chris Powell, of course, getting ready for the big weekend. Hey, we're going to